Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. I want to direct this message to the church. You know, years ago, when I was a much younger man, I tried to do things politically correct. You know, I love God. In order to love God, I got to love the people. And what people? Everybody that's considered as a human being. I know I got to love them. Maybe some animals, but I know I got to love every human being. Why? Because in every human being is God. And I leave anybody out there as a part of God that I've chosen to dislike. Now, I realize that all of the evil and ugliness in you is you. It's man. It's man's choice of putting God to bed and you doing your own thing. But in the past, I used to look at guys that you honored. Guys like Dr. Martin Luther King, very intelligent, could use big words, very articulate, and made him important to you. He was not only a preacher, he was a doctor, Dr. Martin Luther King. And those of you who wouldn't go Dr. King's way because you didn't like what he advocated and wanted to go Dr. Malcolm X's way, who himself was a man initially just like me, but got locked up and used this locked up time to educate himself and come back out talking trash to you. Now, I would love to been of the caliber of these people, but God made Malcolm Malcolm and made King King. He made me me. So I'm not going to try to emulate those guys. However, I'm going to kind of reduce myself from my approach to you in the past. In the past, I kind of wanted you to know that God was in me. I wanted you to like me as I wanted to like you. But in reality, we are who we are and we can't deny that. So I have found out that there are some things happening in my life that will permit me to talk to you like I want to talk to you. I am dying. I don't know how much time I got to live, but I have my mind set on where I'm going. And I want to leave one message for the church. If it's the last message I give, I want you to look at all the messages. I got about 5, 6, 700 on YouTube and Facebook that which talk about different subjects. And in each of those subjects, I end up talking about the same thing, as I'm sure I would today. But I don't want to talk to you as a person that's politically correct. I don't want to talk to you as a person who's want to be like King Malcolm. I want to be like me. And I'm from the streets. I'm a poor boy, po' boy from the country. At that cotton field, picking cotton, chopping cotton. But I ended up knowing the truth. I ended up knowing that what hurts one person usually hurts another. I realized that everybody basically have common needs for survival, food, clothing, shelter, education. I realized that God had provided that for everybody. I realized that God had put in each of us a particular gift that we could exercise that would allow us to contribute in the process of creating those goods and services that are necessary for our living. God prepared all of that, and we employ that, and we can create the things that we have created and whatever else we want to create, because the earth is filled with it, above it, on it, in it, seen and unseen. That fantastic God I talked to you about. And now, here I am talking to you on my last message. And I want to talk to you in a sense that I want you to understand. I'm calling the church for a rally. It is time that the church come together, because right now you are a bunch of ignorant ass motherfuckers. You ain't worth a damn. Do you know the whole damn world is disgusted with God? Not because of God being God, but because of your representation of God. Your representation of God make it seem like God ain't shit but a figment of somebody's imagination. And nobody wants to respect God. You find a man that's led by the Spirit to want to go before the people and talk about God. He's ashamed because he knows the people are not going to give him any attention just by using the word God. And you low down, sick ass motherfuckers did it. You sitting up in that goddamn church. The people are going crazy out here. All of that stuff that God has prepared that each individual could have a prosperous life, that their dreams could come true, and some devil-ass motherfucker came there and told you that you could profit from it and you could be better than somebody else because you were better. Told white people you're better than black people. Told some others that you're supposed to be rich and they're supposed to be poor. Right now, you got those same ignorant-ass motherfuckers planning on killing you by the billions so that those same motherfuckers that used to sit back in days on the throne trying to play God, whether they were in Egypt, any place, trying to play God, whether they were in Rome, wherever they were. They were trying to play God, symbolize God. And that same damn spirit that was with them is with them right today. And they don't give a shit about you. And I'm talking about the people of the world. But the people of the world don't know any damn better. You stood yourself up and said God had changed you, that your mind had been renewed, that greater is the spirit that's in you than the spirit in the world. And you say that you can't obey two masters. You sure put God on the shelf because you damn sure don't obey God. You set up in these damn churches like yesterday, which was Sunday, Palm Sunday. Rather than taking that time to draw the people together within your congregations, tell them what's going on, tell them what's essential to change this thing. You up there talking about some damn palm leaves. Some donkey Jesus was riding on. Who gives a fuck about Jesus riding on a donkey? Who gives a fuck about palm leaves? If Jesus can't take care of somebody's suffering according to the power of God, who wants to talk about God or Jesus? Oh, you lying in your pockets. You got your family supporting you, making people think that you're God. Got folks in your congregation scared to even mumble anything against you. You got your preachers in there, your deacons in there ready to whoop somebody's ass if they come in there challenging you. And you're scattered in every different denomination. I went on the internet to find out who to drop some letters to. It was so many damn churches and denominations in there, I thought I'd get puked up trying to contact you. Every last one of you confused as hell. And none of you would come together to bring unity to a cause. You just sitting out there, and right now, you are fucked up so goddamn much till there's a motherfucker in New York, Satan's son, or whatever you want to call him, is running for president of the United States. And it seems like all the white folks are trying to bag behind him. There are some who ain't that foolish, but most of them out there beating up other folks if they act like they don't like him. Black people who want to be white. Black people who think that Donald Trump gonna do something for you. So I realize that you're saying that the Republican Party all white, that the presidency, that the Democratic Party all white except Barack Obama has never done a motherfucking thing for you. But that goddamn demon Donald Trump ain't gonna do a damn thing for you either. You silly ass motherfucker, you think so? You got to be at your goddamn mind. And if you think that, there is no God in you. So I'm calling you to bring your asses out of them damn churches. Come together. Talk about what God is about, what God wants from the people, what God has prepared for the people. What the hell you calling yourself a representative of God? The whole goddamn world, not just the United States, is trampled on and ran by Satan. No, and we talking about doing good shit, you talking about a soup line. You talking about, well, we gave some soul. You went about the greatness of God. God put Adam in the garden not to feed the hungry, but to clarify that garden, to get all that motherfucking shit out of it. All that shit, that money stuff, and look, you got the mafia, you got gang bangers, you got people running dope, you got prostitution, you got lying, you got cheating, you got stealing. And what is that about? That is about Satan. That is about man who has decided that if he wanted to survive in this life, he better try to grab anything he can and go for it. And you, who call yourself godly, who are supposed to prepare the way, to set the captives free, to look after the sick. God has done all of these goddamn things. You're setting your ass down calling yourself a damn Christian. You ain't a fucking Christian. And if you are, Jesus didn't make you a fucking Christian. You just a lump-headed motherfucker brainwashed by the system that you're living under, and you ain't worth a goddamn to God. You ain't worth a goddamn to God. I know some of you got nice jobs. I know you can ride in nice cars. I know your house look good, and you don't give a fuck about that nigga standing on that goddamn nigga, and I'm talking about black, white, anybody poor, that's standing on that corner with a sign saying, help the poor. I need a job. And you ride your ass or by him talking about they trying to play games on you. Motherfucker, you need to have some bitch play a game on you. Do you give a fuck about what him put him in that situation? No, you don't give a fuck. Why? Because the world told you he wasn't worth shit. The world told you he was lack of education. The world told you he didn't have a job. And if he wanted to do those things, he could jump in the boat just like you. Sell his soul just like you. What about those movie stars in Hollywood making all that money? What about all these folks making these $1 million? They sold their goddamn souls to make them motherfucking $1 million. And if they hadn't sold their soul, they'd been out here working jobs just like teachers, making money to barely get by from week to week. But no, they sold their souls. They knew that this would work for them. They don't know nothing about God. And the God that you presented to them ain't worth a damn. That's why they are doing what they're doing. Looking out for somebody to help them out. And Satan is deceiving them, making them think that he's helping them out. He's setting them up for a massacre and you sitting your ass up in a church talking about God. Next week you'll be talking about some Easter. Rather than use that time to say what God came and did on, Jesus came and did on this earth while he was here. And for you to emulate it, for you to lay your hands on the sick, and if they don't recover, to make sure that all that medication that is required is free. And make sure that the medication that is designed for one thing does not have a side effect that's worse than the shit that is being treated for. Now I'm going to say this one more time. In the name of God, you ignorant ass motherfuckers, close them goddamn doors. Close those goddamn church doors and bring your ass out of there and start walking the streets. Let the people know that they are important. Teach you that you're important. Tell your community how important they are. Seek out those who are suffering. Tell your mayors, these people who say they want to represent you, that these problems got to be fixed. You will find out that it can't be done. Then you take it to the state government. Tell the state government that these problems in the state got to be fixed. You will find out it cannot be done. Then take all the cities, take all the states within this nation, take it to Washington and say it got to be fixed. You will find that this shit cannot be done. And you will find that you've been victim of a motherfucking, what they call that thing? Madoff, a Ponzi scheme. Motherfuckers taking everything, working your ass so goddamn time you can't even breathe. All you're doing is catching disease and sickness and stuff and dying because of the shit that they're putting on you. And there you are. Now you know that you've been played. And there's one thing for you to do. To keep on being played or change your way. Now I'm telling you to change your fucking way. And when your time comes to die like me, you don't give a fuck. You'll be glad to get your ass out of this hell if it ain't straightened up. Now all of you folks who in church don't like I'm cussing, kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. I spent my whole life trying to wake you up and fail because you so goddamn interested in it. Donald Trump running for president, talking all about this and shit he'll do for you. You know damn well Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about you. What has he done for you now? Talk about how much he loves you and how much you love him. You wouldn't leave him out there. And if they don't want him to be president, you tab this motherfucking country. Don't that sound like Satan to you? Don't that sound like the devil to you? Hell no, because you've been trained to think that that's the way to do it. You silly ass son of a bitch. Whew. I wonder if they're going to play this on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I know you don't believe it, but I'm taking a chance. Somebody might kill me before my time comes. I don't give a shit. You know why? Because when Jesus came to this earth, Jesus, for those of you who believe in Jesus, did what he did. And he couldn't do anymore because you got free will. You heard that expression, Jesus said, Father, why hast thou forsaken me? You didn't get the answer. I'll tell you what the answer was. God was telling Jesus, you've done what no other human being has ever done. If anybody was going to ever know that there was a representative of God on earth, it's in you. They have rejected you, my son. And now I'm going to have you to suffer to see if anybody can be moved by your suffering. But you come on out of that shit. And then the con artist came and told you that Jesus died for your sins. All that sin shit that you've been doing, now you excused from it. You ain't got to worry about it no more. Just sit your ass in them buildings, don't rock the boat. And when you die, God will take care of you. Yeah, if he take care of you, send your ass right back down here in some wood shit. God ain't no fool. You might be a fool, but God is no fool. So I'm telling you right now, you better wake your ass up. All you preachers who know me, yes, I know you real well, but I don't know one of you that's worth a goddamn for God. I know you saying, well, I'm glad I'm worth for God and not you. Well, I tell you what, how can you work for God and not work for the people that's suffering? How can you work for God and sit back and let that shit happen? You can deceive yourself. You can't deceive God. And if anybody sitting in your congregation got a spirit of wanting to know the truth, they know you full of bullshit. They just sitting up in there because they don't know where to go. They don't know what else to do. God has not touched them in that way to lead them and guide them. So a motherfucker like me, they don't want to have nothing to do with. Yes, I ran for governor. I ran for mayors. I ran for the United States Senator. I ran for president of the United States. Why? So I can do God's business. I can tell you what God's business is, advocate it, and get you to see it because I can't make it. It would be you that represent it. But I couldn't get a quarter, enough money to make a phone call or a cup of coffee. Donald Trump got his own money that he's ripped off the nation. And you can't sit still. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Donald, sorry I got to talk about you the way I do, but I can't say nothing good about you. I don't know nothing good. So here it is. Now, people, you are a sad sack of shit. Bye-bye.